and welcome to This Week in East Brunswick, the township's own news and information program, the video magazine in which you and your neighbors are the newsmakers. Your community is Channel 8's focal point. So join us today as we explore Lakeview Day Camp, which celebrates its 50th anniversary this summer. Stuart Davis talked to the Levine family at their popular 18-acre facility on Farrington Lake. We'll also look at the evening open gym program for youngsters sponsored by the township's Division of Recreation. Recreation also provides a boys soccer program, and Coach Dan Haston will talk about that. Dolly Vasta meets photographer Larry Rutter, whose vibrant colors and scenes from around the world grace the walls of the East Brunswick Public Library. All this and more, including scenes from Friday's production of Pinocchio in the Children's Summer Theater program, tonight on This Week in East Brunswick. But first, here's a look at what's happening next week on Channel 8. Monday at 10 a.m., dance away the calories with Lenore Kulik on Look Great, Feel Great. At 10:30, we bring you stories from the library. Monday evening at 8, we'll televise the council action meeting live in its entirety. Tuesday night at 7, the City of Beverly Hills presents In Print. At 7:30, Sports Talk features Dom Forker, author of Men of Autumn, about the New York Yankees of the early 50s. At 8 p.m., we'll show the 1989 East Brunswick Young Musicians Concert. Wednesday at 7:30, For Art's Sake, shows a critic's view of dance. At 8 p.m., the New Jersey Summer Arts Institute is highlighted on the arts. This Week in East Brunswick returns Thursday at 7 and 8. At 7:30, Sandra Landman interviews former mayors Alec Borman and Charles Sullivan on EB People. Check the Channel 8 program guide for updates and schedule changes.
Hi, I'm Stuart Davis for This Week in East Brunswick at East Brunswick High School with Joanne and Jerry Janczek, the two co-coordinators of East Brunswick Youth Program. They're here to talk about what they have in store for our teenagers this summer, as well as the open gym night here at East Brunswick High School. Joanne, tell me a little bit about your program and how it all got started here.
Okay, the program is run by the Division of Recreation, and it's open to all 6th through 12th graders, residents of East Brunswick. And it's just kind of a thing to get the youth active during the weeknights and sometimes during the weekends also.
And Jerry, tonight is open gym night. What is this all about?
Okay, open gym night, which we have on Tuesdays and Thursdays here at the high school, consists of volleyball and basketball. And it gives the students a chance to sharpen their skills up during the summer, along with just having a social event to get out.
Joanne, you're from East Brunswick for a long time. Do you think there's a need for this kind of programming for our youth?
Definitely. I've been in East Brunswick, like I said, all my life, and I've gone through the school systems, and I feel that there really, when I was growing up, really wasn't anything to do. And I feel this is excellent for the kids to get out and play, and we take them on trips and things like that, and I feel that there wasn't anything like that for me to do, and I think it's great.
Now, the program is kind of a new thing. It just started last year. How is it going, and what do you expect in the future?
Starting off slow, but it's really snowballing. Our trips are really picking up, and Jerry has some trips that he would like to talk about.
Right. What type of trips specifically have you done, and do you look forward to doing?
Well, we've taken 2 trips into New York City. One was into the Hayden Planetarium, which we saw a laser rock show with grades 6 and 7, which was a really exciting and fun trip for the students. We followed up with an ice cream social, and it was just a real nice night. We also went in last year to do some shopping around the holidays and plan to do that again this winter.
And what do you plan this summer?
Okay, this summer we have 3 different trips. The first trip that we're going to take to Seaside Boardwalk and Waterworks is the 6th and 7th grade students. It should be a trip where they get to walk the boardwalk, they can eat some food on the boardwalk, play some games. Follows up with a fun day at the Waterworks Water Museum.
And is there anything else that we can look forward to?
Yes, we're having a sports night at the beach, which is on August the 4th, which is grades 8 and 9 only. That'll be from 6 until 11. Activities will include swimming, basketball, volleyball, dancing, which will be by entertainment by J&J, the 2 GJs, which are a favorite group for the local students here in East Brunswick. Our third program, which will be for the senior high students from grades 10 through 12, will be tubing down the Delaware, which will be on Saturday, August the 19th. It's an all-day trip. It should be a lot of fun.
The trips sound really exciting. There's something that I've seen a lot about, the YAC program. What is that, Joanne?
YAC is the Young Adult Club, and we're starting it in August. August 2nd is our first night, and it's from 6 to 8:30, and it'll be held at the beach. We'll be playing volleyball and basketball, and they can swim from 6 to 8. and then from 8 to 8:30 they can just do some more volleyball and basketball.
It seems like the town's really getting together as far as the youth are concerned and servicing them. What do you hope all this leads to?
I'd really like it to lead to a youth center, a building, and maybe even a pool.
Do you think getting the participation of the kids, do you think that's one of the hardest parts of this?
Yes, getting the information out and advertising, and just to get the kids interested, I think is our biggest problem right now.
Just to wrap up, could you go over when and where the open gyms are and who's invited to come?
Okay, for the summer, the open gyms will be held at the East Brunswick High School. They will be on Tuesdays and Thursday evenings from 6 until 9 p.m., which will consist of volleyball and basketball. After July, in the July 31st on Monday and Wednesdays from 6 until 8:30 p.m., they will be at the East Brunswick Community Beach. This fall, we're going to have open gyms at the Hammersholt School for the 6th and 7th graders on Thursday evenings from 6 till 7:30, Churchill School for 8th and 9th graders on Wednesday evenings from 7 to 9, and high school students grades 10 through 12 on Thursday evenings at the high school from 7 to 10.
Hopefully we'll get a reminder on this.
Yes, look forward for the flyers that say everybody's talking. And if you have any more questions, please call the Recreation Department at 390-6797.
Okay, thanks for joining us. I hope you keep up the good work. It's good to see people in East Brunswick doing some work for our youth. At East Brunswick High School, I'm Stuart Davis for This Week in East Brunswick. This week, Channel 8 took a look at not only the new programs in town, like Open Gym Nights, we also got a chance to come to Lakeview Day Camp, where they're celebrating their 50th year in business. Eileen Levine and her daughter Amy are here to tell us about the camp's history and its future. Eileen, tell me a brief history of the camp here off Riva Avenue.
Well, my parents bought the property in 1937, and in 1939 they began a day camp. Previously, the whole property was used for a dairy farm and for vegetable farming. Therefore, there were no trees, and it was just flat ground. From 1939 until 1969, we were a resident camp, and children came from the city to have a country experience. And in 1969, we realized the need for day camping in this area, and we developed our day camp, and we have been going strong now for 20 years as a day camp.
Altogether 50 years. How do you fill the camp with kids every year? What's the secret to a successful camp?
Well, we try to be innovative, and we feel that if you're caring as far as the staff that you have and try to give children a meaningful experience, we've really been very fortunate. We don't advertise, and children just come to Lakeview because they know they can have a good time.
And Amy, your experience in kindergarten education, how does camp add to the child's growth experience?
Well, a child has a new start at camp. They've been seen in one light at school, but they have a new chance to have new friends here. They can try new skills, new activities, and be a new child and not have to have the way they've been pegged in school.
And what types of programs are most popular these days?
We find that the low element adventure course, our ropes course, is very exciting. This year, a wiffle ball field became the rage. We just keep adding things. Street hockey, a couple of years ago, was an addition. We go to professional meetings, we learn what's new in camping, and we're constantly changing and reevaluating. And I think you have to, use a fresh approach all the time.
And yet, many of the old favorites stay. The kids always want swimming and boating. They always want the sports. They always love the arts. And that's going to stay.
Amy, what do you consider the camp's biggest asset?
I think there's a wonderful feeling here. I think it's a feeling of a family. We have many campers who have been here year after year, and then many of them return as our staff members. I remember one of my kindergartners, who was mine when he was 3, came back this year to be a junior counselor, and it's just a wonderful feeling. And I think the fact that my parents have been a part of it and my grandparents just make it wonderful, and it's been 50 years of our family and everyone else's together.
Okay, we're coming up on another 50 years now, and you'll be, Eileen, taking us into some of that, I imagine. Tell me, what do you have in store? What do you plan? Are you going to be around?
Well, I hope to be around as long as I can, but that kind of planning I think I'm going to have to leave to Amy.
Amy?
Well, we have a lot of plans. As I said, the traditions are always important, but as we go to all of the meetings and see what different things are going on in camping, we'd like to expand. I mean, possibly bringing families out here, doing more retreats now that the family has become an important unit again.
Okay, we look forward to seeing more of Lakeview Day Camp. For Channel 8, Stuart Davis with Amy and Eileen Levine.
Hey, Karen.
What?
Guess who is going to be down at the East Brunswick Community Beach this week?
I don't know who.
The Tim Gillis Band, that's right.
The ones from Texas?
That's right. Sunday, July
Here?
23rd. Here. Do you know they are the hottest?
I know. How'd you ever get them?
Country band. Oh, hey, I know friends in high places.
Well, we're the class act
That's
folks
right.
here.
Sunday, July 23rd, the Tim Gillis Band will be right here at the East Brunswick Community Beach, 7 o'clock.
Yeah.
And Janet Berkowitz, of course, will be
At
here
6:30.
at 6:30 to 7 to entertain the kids.
Maybe they don't know about Janet.
All right, why don't you tell them about
Janet Berkowitz is a clown mime who was at Memorial Day, and she entertains her children. So come on early. Get her a hot dog and hamburger at the concession stand, and enjoy the concert. It's free, and we're sponsored by East Brunswick Township and...
That's right. Da-da-da-dum. Provident Bank of New Jersey.
That's right.
And guess what? In case it should rain, why, the concert's going to be over at the Senior Center,
Right.
which is next door to the East Brunswick Library.
And next to my offices.
Well, we can forget about
All
that.
right,
I'll
okay.
just make you go to work
Don't
early.
forget, here at East Brunswick Community Beach, 6:30 for Janet Berkowitz, 7 o'clock for the concert, and if it rains, at the Senior Center.
Right.
So, see you Sunday night.
Okay, I'll see you.
You ready?
Just keep pedaling, will you?
I am, but it's so squeaky.
I know, it sounds like
Needs a
my
little
joint.
oil.
Sunday's concert by the Manhatten Swingers was moved to the Senior Center due to rain. It seems every year the Arts Commission books these talented performers, the township can confidently predict inclement weather. But spirits weren't dampened, and the hall was packed with return fans and newly interested listeners. The group had an all-new repertoire of Rodgers and Hart and other classic favorites.
There's a small hotel with a wishing well. I wish that we were there together.
There's a bridal suite, one room, private and neat, complete for us to share together.
Looking through the window, you can see a distant steamer.
Not a sign of people.
Who wants people?
The Children's Summer Theater program is enjoying its 30th season of music and young talent and is becoming accustomed to its temporary accommodations in Aldersgate Methodist Church on Riders Lane. On Friday, the children performed a musical version of the popular Italian folktale Pinocchio. The performance time for the general public is 11 a.m. on Fridays. Admission is $1 for children and $1.25 for adults. Friday the 21st, they'll show Rumpelstiltskin.
Hi, this is Dolly Vasta, Arts Coordinator, with your arts update for this week, and I'm here with photographer Larry Rutter at the East Brunswick Library. He has a wonderful exhibit of his work. Larry, tell me a little bit about when you got started doing this.
Well, I didn't take an art course until I was 35. I'd been out of school many years, and I had changed jobs, and my marriage split up, so I was looking for new expressions. I took an art course at Middlesex County Library and got very interested in it, hit all the galleries in New York and New Jersey. And then when I started going on vacations primarily to Europe and the West, I began seeing paintings among the pictures I took. And those I expanded on And that's really what I've evolved into, is looking at pictures in terms of how they look as a painting.
Well, your work looks very lithographic, if I can use that expression. It is so very, very detailed. How do you manage to get that into your photographs?
With the zoom lens, I can avoid any excess. Some people use zoom to bring in objects closer. I use it to frame the picture. Much like a painting, you don't want any dead space in a painting. So by zooming in and getting the zoom lens as a frame rather than just a close-up, you can avoid, for example, excessive, non-interesting space.
Is this your first exhibit?
Yes, it is. I've exhibited in my house and forced them on all my friends, but yes, this is my first major exhibit of the 20-some pieces.
How do you feel about that, exhibiting here at the library?
It's been very rewarding as I stop by the library to make sure the pictures are still straight and so forth. A lot of the library people have commented, both for themselves and for people that have stopped by, that they're very pleased and they think it's very good quality.
Larry, don't you think there is a resurgence of photography? Is it a stress reliever? Why have so many people taken it up?
Well, I think there's a cost and equipment factor there. My equipment is not expensive. It's probably totally about $500 or $600 worth. And many of these pictures were taken on equipment that was only $250. So it's become a mass. It's there for the masses now because of the expense and the incredible quality now of low-cost equipment. The lenses, people say, my God, you must have a $2,000 lens on that to get that sharpness and clarity. In fact, it's standard photographic equipment now. You can use automatic cameras and so forth. Also, I think with traveling opening up so much for many middle-class people like myself over the years now, that the availability of Europe and the West and Africa and the whole world makes it, and with a compact little camera you can carry around, there's just no limit to your pictures.
Tell me something, when you're in your car, do you carry your camera with you at all times? So if you see something really exciting, all of a sudden you can pull up to a stop and whip it out and snap a picture?
I usually miss those because a camera to me is recreation but not relaxation. If I go on a trip, it's a very intense effort. If every picture I try to get something artistic, and once in a while I'm fortunate enough to get that, but I find it too stressful to have it with me all the time, always looking for pictures. So I like to separate that most of the time and don't have it in the car.
Do you have any comments, Larry, before we have to go, about your work?
Yes, from the art history course I took, I look at pictures as paintings, and for example, here we have what I think represents to me Cézanne. He painted with colors throughout a picture and painted geometric shapes. So here in Old Quebec City, I looked down and saw not just a painting, but a Cézanne. Okay, in other pictures, I'm trying to look at abstracts. And you'll see some works here that have simply just the nature's colors, sand dunes, snow on melting red hills, cliffs with the different colored green algae on them, as a total abstract, not giving any thought to dimension. And that's another phase of what I'm trying to do here.
Hi, my name is Stephanie Knox, and I just read a great book called The Chocolate War by Robert Cormier. This book deals with the cruelty of a group of boys in a prep school. The vigils assign innocent students to do tasks which could easily get them into trouble. Each boy is instructed to do their task with stride because the word of the vigils is final. However, one boy, Jerry Renault, decides to disturb the powers of the universe. At the chocolate sale, a major school event, Jerry is instructed by the vigils not to sell the chocolates. Not to participate in this school event is a major disgrace to the school itself. Jerry complies. After the assignment is revoked, Jerry continues to refuse the chocolates. This angers the vigils and his schoolmates. Archie, the leader, arranges a fight between Jerry and the school's biggest bully. Not knowing what was in store for him, Jerry agrees to show up. Will Jerry escape his gloomy fate or face the consequences of bravery? To find out, read The Chocolate War by Robert Cormier.
Good afternoon. Welcome to East Brunswick High School, the site of the 4th Annual Boys Recreation Soccer Camp. Hi, I'm Dan Haston, the director of the camp, the head boys varsity coach here. This afternoon, we certainly would like to thank the cable, Channel 8, for coming by and giving us an opportunity to show you what we're trying to accomplish here at this camp. The camp is run for 2 weeks, July 17th to the 21st and 24th to the 28th. And it's run with the approximately 60 boys in camp. The 60 boys are broken down into ages of 8 to 15. What we do to break them up into the teams is we put them by years experience. They fill out an application at the beginning, they come in, and I put them in according to their age groups. 8, 9, and 10 is this intermediate division, and 11 and up to 15 is the intermediate division. And what they do is when they come on the first day, we put them into the groups, and then by noontime of the first session, they establish a country that they represent. And therefore it provides a little more competition, a little more enthusiasm and interest in the game of soccer. Some take USA, some take Russia, some take different other foreign countries, but it's a good way to get the program off to a good start. Some of the things we try to accomplish here is the camp is designed specifically for all around. There's people in here that have never played before, there's people that have played a few years, traveling team, some recreation practice as well, and also some very experienced players. They've gone all over the country as well as to different parts of the world. So as you can see, it's a wide variety of groups. And what we try to do is we provide skills for them in the morning and evaluate those people and then put them into game situations, game teams where the coaches who have been doing such an outstanding job this week, and we have 5 of them, what they do is they put their teams into the different competitions where they play each other probably 5 to 6 times during the week. And the coaches this year are the same staff. 5 of the 6 staff members I have this year are the same people that we had last year, and they are headed by Mitch Rubin, who is a former player of mine here at East Brunswick, and is now at Longwood College in West Virginia on a full scholarship. Henny Haneen, who also played here, now is playing at Providence College in the Big East Conference. Paul Erie, who played as a goalkeeper here for me 2 years ago and is a sophomore at Rutter College. Leo Whalen, who is the new head coach, girls head coach at Bishop Barr High School in Edison, and Brian Merrigan, who is someone that's very familiar with our program because he's the JV girls coach here and has been a tremendous asset to the varsity program at East Brunswick in the last 2 or 3 years with the girls winning the state championship. And what we try to do with the boys is by the end of the week is to have them make sure that they have a fun experience, a learning experience, and each day we try to highlight different things. We've had a referee come in, Ken Logan, who is one of the better officials from this area, and he gave a talk this morning and had some interesting questions put forth to him, and he had some good responses to them. Tomorrow we're going to have an attempt to have Benny Letson here, who's a senior at Rutgers who played here, one of the better high school players that ever played in this area, and he will be here tomorrow to speak. And on Thursday we're trying to get my high school players in to give some type of demonstration as well. Some of the other highlights of our camp are the different contests that we provide for the boys during the week. One of them, if you look behind me, is the 1v1 contest, which is taking one person against another person, station the ball in the middle, and having them go for a score up to 3 and seeing how much of the shielding skills as well as the dribbling skills and shooting skills that they possess. And what we do is at the end, we have a team competition for all of the teams in the camp, and then we have an individual winner for the senior division as well as the intermediate division. The other contest that we provide for the youngsters is the 2v2 contest, which is basically the same, but only with 2 people on a team, and the same analysis at the end, where we have a team champion for the intermediate as well as the senior. And then the dribble and shoot contest, which is very interesting, because what we do there is it's on a time factor, so there's no problems at all determining the winner, and we have we have champions in those divisions from the senior and intermediate as well. As far as the rest of the camp, the things that we do with these people, we feel that certainly would be help to them later on in their life, because of the fact that a lot of these boys that are from East Brunswick and surrounding communities will be attending either East Brunswick High School or other high schools, and we certainly wish all of them a successful experience and success in the future. As far as the opportunity to get into these camps, I certainly would like to thank Mrs. Burke and Mrs. Blublein, who have taken the opportunity to take us on as part of their program and this whole program is sponsored by the Recreation Commission. And as far as the next week's camp, we still have several openings left. If you would contact at the Recreation Office 390-6797 up until 5 o'clock on the weekday through this week, and we would try to get you get your son into this program as well.
Hi, I'm Peggy Ballister-Howells, and Tasha and I are here in the front garden, and we want to tell you that one of the most important things about gardening is that every once in a while you have to take time to smell the flowers. Right now there's some wonderful things in the garden to appreciate. Some of my favorite summer perennials are in the middle of their bloom and are at their peak. The monardas are blooming. They're also called bergamot, and there's a pink one called Croftway Pink that's blooming for the first time this season. Another variety, of which I don't know the name, it was handed down to me from a gardener who's had it in their yard for many years, is a pinkish purple variety. The redder colors are supposed to attract hummingbirds to the garden. In New Brunswick we haven't seen any, but we'll keep hoping maybe someday one will show up. In addition to the monardas, the Shasta daisies are blooming, a classic garden perennial. The white flowers and the long stems make excellent cutting flowers. They come back every year. They are long-lived. It's a wonderful selection that you can always count on in the garden. A little bit more unusual is the Stokesia, which is a blue flower. The plants themselves tend to be a little wild-looking. They don't stand upright, but they do make excellent cut flowers, and the nice blue color is a bit unusual and certainly worth pursuing if you happen to have a passion for blue. Probably the most unusual perennial that's blooming right now is the Crocosmia. That intense red color is not easily reproduced. The gladiola-like leaves, however, make you think that maybe this bulb has to be dug up. It doesn't. It's a perennial, it tolerates some shade, and it comes back every year. The dahlias are blooming, and the annuals are also coming into their own. It's a very nice time of year, but it doesn't have that same intensity that you can expect from the tulips and the daffodils. It's a much softer feeling, and it kind of corresponds with the laziness of the summer weather. I really enjoy this time of year. In a few weeks it's going to look all different, and before long the chrysanthemums will be blooming. Every day is different, and every day is wonderful in the garden. We'll see you here next week, right here in the garden. Bye-bye.
The resurgent interest in dinosaurs in children's pop culture inspired Monday's Dinosaur Night at the East Brunswick Public Library. Youngsters in grades 1 and up painted dinosaur t-shirts as part of the children's department's ongoing evening craft series. Parents accompanied their children and even lent some assistance with the prepared stencils and washable fabric paints. The next craft night for parents and children will be Popsicle Pandemonium on August 17th. Registration for that begins July 31st in the children's department.